couldn't afford to pay for the bus tickets to go on the SkyTrain. So we would sneak on the SkyTrain or the bus a lot. Or what would we do actually? I remember what was humiliating. My mom had to like look in the garbage to look for old transfers and tickets. And so, as a young child, I was like, aware of that. And a lot of time I would, if I see something on the floor with a ticket, I would, help my mom look for it too. Right. So, at the time as a child, it's really humiliating because we were looking through the garbage and stuff like that. And I even remember myself, I started working at a very young age. I started working about 8 or 9 because I remember my mom worked once a week at a sandwich factory. And she would bring me with her, and I would always be just hanging out, and then one day someone called in sick. And so they're like, oh, can you help out? And, I knew what to do because I've been there for years just watching. And ever since then, I just started making my own money at the age of, about age of 8. And so 8 years old, I was probably grade 4. I gave up my Saturdays a lot. I woke up at like 5 in the morning. We would take the bus for about an hour and a half, 2 hours to Coquitlam, I remember, and I'd make sandwiches. And it would be like a conveyor belt, and we'd, pack sandwiches. And that's how, and what was embarrassing for me, because I remember one time I was like with my mom, and I'd be wearing my work clothes, which would be like, I wore layers of jackets, because in the morning, especially in Vancouver, it gets super cold. So I'd be wearing like layers of jackets. And I remember like one day some kids from I think I was in grade 7 at the time or grade 8, and they saw me and they're like, Denise. And I just like ignored them because I didn't want them to see me dressed in my work clothes. I was embarrassed. So that's probably the two embarrassing. There's so many more embarrassing stories that I remember. Actually, there's another story that was really touching. I remember lining up for, I think it was Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner at the Union Gospel Mission. And I was in line with my mom. And there's a gentleman in line too, and I think he was an older gentleman. It looked like he was also, hard times. And I remember he pulled out of his pocket, like he had like a couple toonies and loonies, and he put them out and offered it to me. And then I looked at his hand, I looked at my mom, and I'm like, and my mom's like, no, don't take the money, But yeah, just thinking about it, it's just like someone who was going through a hard time, but was still willing to lend a helping hand to me and my mom. So, sorry, just getting emotional.